Hello everybody, this is Rimjim. I'm here in Philadelphia, USA, and we've been in the US for 30 years. My husband and my two kids. My son is 24 and he goes to third year of medical school, and my daughter just turned 19 and she started college at NYU. Today I'm here to share my experience on how I felt lonely in the past 30 years when I've been away from home, and how I've dealt with it. I've figured out a few things that helped me pull myself out of that loneliness feeling. So I'm going to share those things with you, and hopefully some of these tips might be useful to you also. But before I talk about that, may I please ask you to like my video and subscribe to my channel. And also, my Facebook group link is down below in the description. If you can join me on my Facebook group, or maybe follow me on Instagram, we can stay connected. And if you join me on the Facebook group, then please don't hesitate to call me on Messenger, or message me. I love to stay connected with people, and if I can be of any help to you, even if it's just talking to you, listening to you, I want you to know that I'm here. So talking about loneliness, the best way that I can handle my own loneliness, and again, maybe some of these things will work for you, the first thing that I realized that I need to do, and this happened long time ago, because I felt like nobody was doing anything about me feeling lonely, right? And I just realized that instead of waiting for others to do something and make me feel good, why don't I do something? I'll take charge, I'll take action myself. So do that. Give yourself a chance to figure something out and fix your own feeling, this uncomfortable feeling that you have. By taking action, I mean, if you've already been a part of a Facebook group, or you've joined Meetup or Nextdoor, all of these apps that help you meet other people, maybe it's time for you to look into starting your own group, starting your own little something. You want to go for a hike, you want to start something, painting, pick up a hobby, find other like-minded people. Then, take action, take charge, and do something about it, so that you don't have to be dependent and wait for somebody else to do that. It really helps. I've done it a few times. I started my own group, made some friends about 7-8 years ago, and it's been so good. We've stayed friends all this while, and then you keep making new friends through those friends. So give that a try. The other thing that you can do is call and connect with people. Sometimes we just get so tied down with our work and taking care of kids, if you have kids, and we just kind of lose connection with so many people that we were so close to once upon a time. So take this time, if you're feeling this loneliness, and pick up the phone and call people. My husband does that. I've learned from him. Every Sunday for about 3-4 hours, that's all he does. He just connects with everybody and anybody, people from 20 years ago, 40 years ago, really from high school time. How nice is that? He has taken charge, taken action, and he's taken the first step, put all the effort. And now that Sunday time is like his staying connected with people time. People call him at that time. He's just so happy. I love to see him laugh and just share so many old school stories and stuff. So don't wait for somebody to call you. Pick up the phone and you make the first call. The one more thing I'd like to say is that, a lot of times we hold ourselves back because we feel like we might get rejected. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about being rejected, People might not be reciprocating you 1 time, 2 times, maybe 4 people will, but somebody will. You will find somebody who's gonna appreciate that you made the first attempt, and then you will be able to make some sort of connection there. So don't let that hold yourself back, please. Give that a try and put yourself out there. The next thing I'd like to say, and this is my favorite, pick up a hobby or go back to an old one. Like, when you find yourself looking at something and say, I used to love doing that. Movies. How many of us think of that? I used to love going to the movies and I just haven't done it in such a long time. And do that, please. And this kind of connects to my other thing, which is some me time, right? Both of it together, get yourself the time and the opportunity to do something that you like. We spend so much time and effort and money also on our kids. We'll sign them for every activity that they show interest in. So do that for yourself also. Sign yourself up for a new activity or go back to something that you used to enjoy. That brings me to one more super important point, and these are all the things that I have kind of learned and taught myself and pulled myself also out of some like mental blocks. One of the mental block I had was I'm going to take care of my kids. I don't need a babysitter. I don't want to leave my kids with strangers. And my happiness is just with my kids. If I'm with my kids, I'm the happiest. True that. All of the above is true. But the one thing we don't realize, or at least I didn't realize when my kids were young, eventually I did, that we need time to recharge and reset. Being with our kids is, of course, brings us a lot of joy and happiness, but at some point it's exhausting also. It's because it's something different from who you are. That part of you is something totally different. That's not 100% you. There's this other you also. So take care of that other you. And if you keep that other you happy, you're going to be able to, just give so much more to your family also. You'll be a happy you. So see if you can, get a babysitter if you're not getting a babysitter. And just give yourself like 2-3 hours a week, every other week, and spend some time with your spouse, husband and wife time together. Just going to the park and sitting and talking, or leaving your young kids at home with the babysitter and going and enjoying the outdoors for a hike. I know we go for a hike, we want to take our kids. We go to the mall, we want to take our kids to the mall. That's what I did when my kids were younger. But then I kind of looked around myself and I saw other people do this. And I was like, I'm going to give this a try. And voila, it was amazing. It was really nice. And just because you went and had some fun for yourself, it does not mean that you don't love your kids. And even if your kids throw a tantrum, they don't want to be with the babysitter, and they're not happy, it's okay. It's only like, 2-3 hours. If I ask my grown-up kids right now that, I left you with the babysitter and were you miserable because you were like crying and you were throwing a tantrum? He's gonna be like, no, mom, you go do your thing. My daughter's gonna be like, if anything, give me some space, go do your thing. So yeah, go do your thing. Give yourself that few hours of happiness just for yourself. The next thing I'd like to suggest is like volunteer. Volunteer at your kids' school, high school, elementary school, middle school, or even a daycare. There's like community service in your township. See if you can be a part of that. Go to your place of worship. You can help out there. So by doing that, not only are you helping somebody, but you'll make some people also. You'll meet some people there. And when you meet people, again, put yourself out there. Don't hesitate. Don't hold back. Try to talk. Try to get a conversation going. You can do the same thing in your gym, place of workout. If you've not signed up for a gym, definitely something to look at. Of course, it's so good for your health and for your fitness, but also it's a chance to meet people. See if you want to look into joining a gym, some yoga class, or like Planet Fitness, and any one of these things will work. And when you get there, please see if you can strike a conversation. Take charge again. The last thing I'd like to say is get a pet. We got a pet 5 years ago. We adopted a rescue, and life has changed. I cannot tell you how it's made all four of us happy. Literally, my daughter said this in her graduation speech, that it's literally saved our lives. It's just such a cute little fur ball, that just gives us so much happiness. He's sitting right there and looking at me. So look into that. We were such a dysfunctional family, and not to say that we are not, but getting this cute little puppy, now a 5-year-old, grown boy, um, it just made us all so happy. So please consider that, look into that. And if you're not a pet person, or if you don't know how a pet fits into your family and into your world, current phase of life, try to foster, because that gives you a chance to experience, what it is going to be like. And yes, no doubt it does take time and effort and money, but listen, tell me one thing that makes you happy that does not cost all of those three things. Anything you want to do, you'll have to either put some time in it, put some effort in it, money, or all of three. And this thing, getting a pet, is like every cent worth it. I'm not kidding. It's the best thing that you can spend your time, effort, and money on. So please consider that. Hopefully all of these things will help you. One of these things will apply in your life and get you out of that loneliness feeling. The one last thing I want to talk about it, and this is less to do with your personal loneliness, but this is like a general thing that I'd like to mention and get your attention to. We need to all ask ourselves, are we causing loneliness to anybody? Because listen, people are lonely because they're not able to make that social connect. Either they're hesitating on their own, or they are approaching people and they're still not able to make some social connect. So a simple request, ask yourself, am I in any shape or form responsible for this? Am I causing somebody else this loneliness? Am I rejecting anybody in any way? And maybe you can ask yourself, if somebody extends an invite for a Friday night, what are you doing? Do you want to come over? I know all our lives are busy, but if you say something like, oh no, we are busy this Friday, it just makes that other person feel rejected, right? But if you offer a second option, like if you're busy on Friday, how about trying to offer them, the next time that you're available? Or if you need to look at your calendar, of course say that, let me look at my calendar and get back to you. But then of course do get back to them, because a lot of times either people forget or I don't know what happens, but I don't know about you guys, but I've been through this when I invite somebody and it just doesn't, I feel like they're not interested. And even if you're not interested in that other person's company, it can happen, maybe they are not just your kind of people. You have to have something in common, very possible. In that case, maybe we can just be, maybe not hang out for a whole weekend or a whole meal, have them over our house. Maybe we can just say, let's go get some Starbucks, or let's just go for a 30-minute walk, because it's the company that matters. It's not, you having somebody over and cooking a 7-course meal. That's the other thing that holds people back, that, oh my God, if I get social, then we have to call people over, and then cooking and cleaning or even spending money. Don't worry about it. Please, if we all tell ourselves that it's the connection, it's the conversation that is more important than the food and the cleanliness and the somebody being a good host. That is all a bonus. If you can get any of the other stuff, then these things are all big bonuses. But the core of it all is just, companionship, giving company to other people, and getting company for your own self. So please ask yourself, and hopefully if there's any alteration that you need to do in that respect, look into it, and we'll make a very happy place for all of us. So these are my thoughts on loneliness and how to deal with it. These kind of things have worked for me. If in spite of doing all of those things you were not able to get that feeling out of yourself, then please consider getting some professional help. For some reason, a lot of people have this mental block, and we don't feel like we need to see a therapist. Our brain is just like any other body part, If you have a fever, if your knee is hurting, any other thing that you feel in your body, we do not hesitate to go to a doctor, right? So if you're feeling lonely, if your emotions are not, at the happiest place, of course we need to go see a professional who can guide us. And we did therapy, my daughter and I, during COVID, and it's been wonderful. I cannot tell you how it's just made such a big difference. Somebody to just talk to, somebody neutral to give you advice on how to deal with your own feelings, what to do, what not to do. It is so important to consider that if you're still feeling lonely and if you're not able to pull yourself out of this, sad feeling. Please do consider that. So until next time, stay connected, follow me and like my video, please. And the next video, the next few videos, I'm going to share my experience on parenting, toddlers, teenage issues, bullying in school. That is like big topic. College prep, funds putting away for kids. All of those conversations, would love to share with you my experience. So until next time, take care, keep going, hang in there.